Hello, all of you beautiful, bold, and brilliant, highly evolved souls. I'm Davina, and today's topic is leaning into the darkness. I don't know if a lot of people talk about this, but um, yeah, I think it's not unusual for people going through CPTSD to have suicidal thoughts or to have their inner child having suicidal thoughts. So I want you to understand that this is completely normal and understandable. And what I've found is that most of the time it is just, not just, but it's my inner child speaking up to me and telling me, how horrible it was for her, that it was so horrible that she wanted to escape in whatever way she could. And it's hard for me to imagine that, myself as a little girl would have those kind of dark kind of thoughts and imaginings. But it is, I don't know, from what I found out, it is anyway, real for me. The first time I experienced it was after I left my husband. And at the time, I didn't know I had CPTSD. So I was just in a tsunami flashback, but unaware that I was in a flashback. So it was really a dark, dark time. And I can remember I would go into stores and I would hear like sad, sad love songs like "I Can't Live Without You," "I Don't Want to Live Without You," and things like that. Like it seemed like everywhere I went, it was like death and sadness. I would look at people's t-shirts, it would have like skull and crossbones, or I'd be walking by someone and they'd be saying the word "die" just as I passed by. And I didn't know what was going on. And it was very scary for me. And it was very scary for me at the time to touch into my inner child, because I was scared of my inner child. Like, well, like, I don't want to talk to you. You're talking about death and dying. And I'm like, I just like was I just wanted to like push that away or like pretend it wasn't there. And at the time I was like saying all these positive affirmations in my head, going, I am worthy and I'm feeling good. And thinking at the time that positive affirmations would like um somehow change me. Um, but I've learned that quite the opposite is true, and that my inner child really just wants to be heard, understood, validated, and she wants some compassion and some empathy and unconditional love. And this morning I woke up and I think I call it a flashback dream. I don't know, but I wake up pretty much every morning in this kind of state where I've had a dream of something, and I don't even really know what it is. But I woke up feeling this, like, and I had some of it yesterday too. It was a really dull, kind of it's almost like a dead feeling. I think Pete Walker describes this too. It's a really dull kind of like I couldn't really think and I just wanted to sit and I was just like, um, and so when I got up this morning, I could feel this, like I was really dissociated from my body, and my breathing had almost like, it felt very, very shallow and almost like just almost hardly there. And that is a very scary feeling. But as soon as I leaned into that and I kind of, put my hand on my heart, and I think I said something like, I know you're feeling really hopeless right now, and that must be horrible. And I'm here for you. And I love you. I love you even when you're feeling hopeless, even when you're feeling ashamed. And as soon as I leaned into that, somehow I felt that feeling lifting a little bit. And I could notice my breath started to, open up, and I could start to feel a little bit more grounded in my body. So it just like, yeah, it's God, this is hard. And sometimes that feeling of hopelessness feels so true. And I'm even this morning, I'm experiencing again, like, man, is this ever going to get better kind of thing. And that's, I think it's still really the flashback of my inner child. And that's what she was experiencing. Like, is it ever going to get better? Because hopelessness is the feeling where you're in a situation and it seems like it's not getting better and nothing is changing and you're powerless to change it and you're feeling helpless and hopeless. And that is where we start to go into this kind of collapse and, just roll over and die mode, really. And if you're into polyvagal theory, that's kind of our body system. We have like our health, like I don't want to say healthy, balanced homeostasis, kind of where we're content and peaceful and we feel safe and secure. And when we have healthy parents, that's where we are, most of the time is in that, I think it's called the ventral vagal. I don't know. I don't know all the words, but, and then there's the next system, which is the fight or flight. And that's when we're in the fear mode. And that's when we experience, more heightened kind of energy. And, that's the anxiety. And then there's the lower, I don't know, lower, just I imagine it like that. And that is when we're in the opposite mode, when our body is going to a low energy and it's into the depression and the despair and the hopelessness. So even just recognizing where you are amongst those three can be very helpful. Just am I in a fearful state? Am I in a depressed, more sad kind of mode? Or am I maybe feeling some peace and contentment? So it's really understanding that as I mentioned in my last video, that you are not hopeless, that this is the feeling of when you were, a small child, and things, when you're a child and you're living only in the present moment, things feel, everything is endless because you don't have any concept of time. And so, hopelessness can literally just feel like an eternity of just, it's going to be an eternity of hell, so I guess what I want to say is just, I just want to bring this to light, to bring the darkness to light. And that's really what we do when we lean into it, when we're pushing it away or trying to ignore it, or, or just we're reacting kind of like our parents might have, just being scared of it. My mom would just say, oh, just ignore that and think positive, and that's what I learned, right? So that's what I did. But the real freedom comes from like leaning into that and just imagining that is your inner child who is in pain, a lot of pain, and she just wants you to be there for her and to say, I'm here and I love you no matter what, and find out what your inner child needs, but I think generally those are the things that humans want, is just to be heard and understood and loved. And so it takes a lot of courage to go into those dark, deep crevices. But that is how we bring that subconscious, once we shine that light on it, then it's not, it's not that deep, dark, scary place anymore. It's just a place where there was a wound. And I was going to say something else about that, about the light and the darkness, but that's kind of what I wanted to share with you today. And I am wishing you many, many blessings on your journey of healing and awakening, and wishing you hoping that you find some light and some peace today. And I am Davina Shamaya at Boldness Blooming, and thank you for watching.